Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. This is Hybrid Plus channel and today I want to talk about the operation of Mac-Pherson strut suspension. First of all, let's be familiar with the name of the components for this type of the suspension. Then in the next slide we will learn each component, what the duty it has to do. So it has a lower control arm, then it has shock absorber and spring with steering link. Actually, it has only one lower control arm, but double wishbone suspension, it has a two control arm. One is upper control arm and the lower control arm. Then it has a steering knuckle, which is common in all of the vehicles. It's one of the mandatory components for all of the vehicles. Then there is a Jones bumper, not a strut to mount, a strut mount, front steering, upper insulator. Then we have front strut and lower control arm that you see at the right side of the photo. Then there is a definition about it: the upper steering pivot of an automobile suspension system known as the Mac-Pherson strut, derived from the top of a telescope damper. It is frequently seen in the front suspension of contemporary cars. The Mac-Pherson strut has a very basic design that consists of a damper and a coil spring to absorb the shock energy from an abrupt jerk faced on the road. A spring is first added to the system. The hydraulic fluid is then used by the shock absorber to release the shock energy as heat. Most of these components, it's common in all other type of the suspension except leaf spring and air suspension. But the steering knuckle, no, it's the common in all of them. That's related to the structure. If the structure is different, so for sure some component it will be different, but for the leaf spring and the air suspension, totally the component will be different. For example, air suspension has a compressor, which is in this type of the suspension you cannot find at all. So in here we have lower control arm. We will see the definition: bushings or ball joints that allow to pivot or rotate, which allows the wheel to move up and down with the bumps and dips in the road. Ball joints allow the steering knuckle to move in different direction. Then the steering link take the motion from the steering gear output and transfer it to the same steering arms, which in turn send it to the wheels and allow them to turn in different directions. For the ball joint, it has the place to pour with the grease. So the grease, it allows it to move in different direction. And different steering, it has a different amount of the ball joint, from 1 to 4. For the wishbone, almost 3 to 4, but for the Mac-Pherson strut, 1, 2, or maximum 3. Then we have steering knuckles, helps in turning the wheels when you turn the steering, and shock absorber, a shock absorber, compression and rebound of steering and suspension. The next slide is related to spring insulator. Spring insulators help the coil spring to support the weight of the vehicle, isolating rolling noise and provide loading of the steering. Strut mount, it's a component that attach to the suspension strut to the vehicle. Then in here we have coil spring. Coil spring functions by storing energy in order to release it, absorb shock, or maintain force between two surfaces, and sway bar helps to keep the vehicle more level and stable, improving handling and ride comfort. If you see according to the photo, it has two bushings and two sway bar end link, which is the common. And the sway bar, if you see, as a metal pipe that connected two type of the suspension, right to left. For the coil spring, the main duty of it will store the force and it release the force slowly. It's one of the main function of the coil spring. Then now you will see the 3D photo of the Mac-Pherson suspension, that you can see the bushings, lower control arm, and different other components. Thanks for watching my videos, and if you like the video, please subscribe my channel and press the bell button.